All right, congratulations. I'm going to assume that you've gone ahead and chosen the WordPress managed hosting that you want to use. And now I'm going to show you how to log into your GoDaddy account and actually get things set up to the point where you can get to the back end of your WordPress admin dashboard, which is ultimately where we want to be so that we can get started on the design and development of your WooCommerce site. So if you are not using GoDaddy, this is probably going to still be relevant to you if you're using Bluehost or other. I'm just going to show you GoDaddy, and the general concepts are going to be the same. And then I'm going to show you WP Engine after that. So we're going to focus on GoDaddy, WP Engine users. If you're using Bluehost or another managed WordPress hosting, you know where to get help with this here at WooCommerce University. Thanks. Let's get into it. Okay, so as you can see here, you're going to sign into your GoDaddy account. And once you are signed in with the username and password of your GoDaddy account, you are going to be redirected to your product dashboard. So you can ignore the other products that you see here, but yours may have some domain names. It may have something already under Managed WordPress. It should, since you already bought your Managed WordPress plan as per the earlier lesson. So you're going to go ahead and click Manage All under Managed WordPress. Now, keep in mind that GoDaddy may have updated their dashboard since I filmed this video, but it's going to be something similar. You're going to click on Managed WordPress. Okay, so your GoDaddy Managed WordPress is going to load, and you should see a button that says Add Site. So you're going to click the Add Site button and then choose which one of your plans. You might only have one plan, you might have multiple plans, depending on what you bought. Once you do that, you're going to select, I'd like to build a brand new site in the data center that makes the most sense to you, possibly North America. And then this is where you're going to create your WordPress username and password, and it's actually going to set up WordPress for you. So like I was talking about in the earlier lesson, this is an advantage of managed WordPress. You don't have to install WordPress. So if you're talking to a WordPress developer, like an actual developer, they are probably may or may not be intimidating you by some language that you're not familiar with. And it's most likely because they're used to actually installing WordPress manually and setting up the database manually. But when you get a managed solution like this, you just click a button and it's setting up WordPress admin, front-end files, and the database for you. Okay, so now actually before we move on, I'm going to continue by showing you maybe a different experience that you might have in GoDaddy. After you select the plan that you want to use, you may see the option to actually select a domain name from your GoDaddy account. So if you do have the option to select a domain name from your GoDaddy account that you want to use right here, pick a domain. If you happen to have purchased the domain in the same GoDaddy account that you know you want to use for your WordPress WooCommerce site, go ahead and select it from that dropdown. If you don't want to and you want to use a different domain name, you can type it in and then it'll actually give you the server IP address that you need to go in and update your DNSA record to, so that when you're eventually ready to launch the site live, you can do that very easily. And in the meantime, it'll show your site at a staging URL. And so the WordPress username and password screen is very similar to what I just showed you. This is just an alternate version of what I just showed you. It may or may not look like this, but the concepts are going to be the same.